Well, last week we narrowed it down to the top 5 girls. This week it was the boys' turn. We can't wait to get into the conversation. Season 16, So You Think You Can Dance? Let's get it started.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Ooh, yeah. This was such a great week. First off, I am Tiege Dooley-Panko. I'm so happy to be back on the So You Think You Can Dance panel for season 16. So You Think You Can Dance. This is just really exciting. We've got a really full panel of people today. Right next to me. Actually, over there. You know what? Actually, it's just me, and it's going to be really fun. I'm going to need a little bit of participation on your end, and I'm going to look into the tweets. It's going to be really fun, participatory. It's going to be great, quick, easy. It's going to be wonderful. I'm happy to be back here with you guys, and it does feel a little bit weird to be talking to myself, but we're going to get through it, okay? Here we go. This was a really exciting week. Last week, we saw the top 5 girls be chosen for the show, and this week, it is the guys' turn. So this was a really competitive week. Lots of great talent out there. So let's just get into the conversation. First up, we have Bailey Munoz. Munoz? I don't even have someone to be like, oh, that's not right. Okay, so we've got Bailey first. He's a b-boy. He is 18 from Las Vegas, and he doesn't have a ton of contemporary experience, but everybody's been impressed with him so far on this competition. This final cut performance was absolutely incredible in my opinion. So let's talk about it. He danced to Fire on Fire, Sam Smith. He danced with all-star Lauren Froderman, who you guys know from season 7 as the winner. JC Royal choreographed this. I was in tears, and I'm sure you were too, if you could talk to me. It was a really moving routine. I think it was honestly one of the best routines I've seen so far this season, which is not saying a ton, but it kind of is, because there has been some talent that we've seen already displayed throughout the previous shows, but this one was stunning. I love how he used all of his b-boy ability. That's like my favorite type of b-boy, is a b-boy that like uses his ability for good, uses it for a good contemporary routine, and this is what I think he did, and I think he did it really well. I was stunned by this whole routine. Nigel said that he was shocked how great it was. I truthfully, I look at a performance like this, and to me, I see someone that could win the show personally, because he's so versatile, and if you can do that pop and lock in, all that stuff, and then translate that into contemporary and also look strong, that's like where you want to be. I'm getting into the tweets as well, and into the live chat to get some perspective here. But everybody seems to be a fan of Bailey. He is a fan favorite, and for good reason, because he just also seems like the sweetest, most humble guy. Naima Reyes on Twitter said, "Just the best. So many emotions and heart. You can truly feel their hearts as they lay it on the floor. They have found another star that's going to be shining so bright as he enters the live shows. You are amazing. Keep inspiring," about Bailey. And I would agree with that, Naima. Absolutely incredible. So great performance. Let's move on, because we have quite a few to get through. Next, we have Ezra Sosa, who I am a fan of because we talked with him with AfterBuzz during was one of the promo shoots. I talked with him and Stephanie. If you haven't seen that interview, it is online. And I love this family. The dad is amazing and so supportive and wonderful. The whole family is just great. And I was really happy to see what happened tonight, but I won't tell you what happened yet. Let's get to his performance. He was dancing hip hop with comfort. Luther Brown choreographed this, and I think it was great. His facials, like, so stanky. I was really impressed with his performance. And I do think that he will stick around for a while. I think that the cool thing also from a producer eye is having Stephanie, and I think it'll be really nice and interesting to see that type of dynamic once the performances start on the stage and all of those shows start. So really great, really good. The judges were impressed. So overall, I think he had a really great performance. Next, we're getting to the Ken doll. Oh, I'm so sorry, Vlad, who's like a specimen to look at. He doesn't really feel real. And if someone were here with me, that they would absolutely agree that he looks like he was carved, by somebody that carves things. That's why I need somebody here, just to give me adjectives. But I was really impressed with his dancing. So here's the thing. I have an opinion. He was dancing with Melanie Moore, the winner of season 8, and she's also an all-star. Mandy Moore choreographed this. It's a really, they give you a really good formula to work with. Melanie's amazing. Mandy's amazing. Great partnering. I think he's great at partnering, obviously, because ballroom is his strong suit. That is his background. That's what he's good at. And so we weren't surprised that he was great at partnering. I do not think that this dance, and maybe this was because he wasn't feeling comfortable, but I didn't see any technique that you would need to have in this round to be on the live shows. You have to, I kind of have to see a leap at this point. I kind of have to see a turn at this point. And really all I was seeing was good partnering, which is great and amazing. And that is wonderful if that's your strong suit. However, I needed to see a little bit more ability, and because I couldn't really envision him killing it on live shows. I mean, if he just looked at the camera, I'm sure he would, because he's stunning. Okay, I'm moving on. But I think this was a good routine overall. I do think it fell a little bit flat for me as far as actually showing his abilities and how far he could push himself. So there's where I lay that. What did you guys think? Put it in the live chat. Thanks so much. We're moving on to Alexander Ostinin. This is a 30-year-old Ukrainian tap dancer. He's like so sweet and adorable. You kind of just want to pinch his face. He's really nice looking. I don't know. You know, okay, here we go. Sharna Burgess choreographed this number. He was dancing with Lindsay Arnold, who you all know from season 9. She's an all-star. They were performing a cha-cha routine. I think that this routine started out strong, and this is kind of the same thing that the judges said. He started out strong. He came out of the gate, and I think he was giving a really good performance. It just, halfway through, I'm not sure if it was, I'm sure, first of all, I'd like to say, I can't imagine how these dancers feel right now, because they've been dancing like crazy, like breaking themselves down emotionally, physically. The process is insane that these people go through. So I can only imagine. However, it looked like in this round, if he had anything left, he should have used it a little bit more strategically, or saved that energy, because at the end he really kind of fell flat. And as the judges mentioned, I was also worried about Lindsay in that last hold. It looked a little bit unsafe, and it just looked like it was great effort, which is I think what Nigel said. I loved the knee slide. Dietrich's, we're on the same page there. He has good energy, and he really he had a good performance. However, the whole time I felt myself keeping my fingers crossed, like, please don't drop her. We need her. We love Lindsay. Please don't drop her. Otherwise, I think he did a great job. I'm not sure if it was enough to push him through. All right, let's take a quick break from this programming and talk to you guys about something very important. Here we go. Hey guys, before we move on to the next topic, we just wanted to say thank you for making us the ESPN of TV Talk. We do appreciate that. For us to continue to grow, we could use your help, though. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube if you don't already. Give us a rating on iTunes, only if it's high, but that's it. Leave us a comment if you'd like. We really love comments, and we love talking to you guys, and because you're just as much a part of the conversation as we are, so we really appreciate being engaged. Being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to me, because, I'm so sorry, I read this before I knew that that's what I was going to have to say. Being a part of AfterBuzz has meant so much to me, because I have met some of my greatest friends here. I've had an opportunity to talk about shows that I really love, and that is that. I love this personal touch we've added. So thank you all for supporting us in doing what we love, and we appreciate you guys. You know that, but hopefully you do know that, really. You guys are the greatest. We appreciate you. I just want to pop right back into the live chat, because Watcher Carter, thank you for some comments here. Watcher Carter is saying that I like him without the beard. Yes, I think I do like Alexander without the beard. It's a different vibe. It doesn't feel like he felt totally comfortable with it yet, but I think it looked clean. I think he looked classy. I think it was a good performance with the no beard. Okay, we're moving on. Next, we have Benjamin Castro, contemporary dancer, 18 years old from Miami, Florida, dancing with Koine, we know from season 14. She's an all-star. And Oksana Platters was the choreographer, ballroom. This was a really fast routine. Almost maybe too fast. Not too fast in the sense for anybody to do it, but I think that because it was so fast, I think Benjamin got a little bit tripped up a few times in his feet. Like Nigel said, a little bit flat-footed at times. And that original lift, that first lift, I got a little bit worried because it looked like he was healing his go-around. Healing his go-around, don't you know? And I was overall impressed. I think that it was a little shaky, but overall good. I think this did prove that he could do contemporary. However, it wasn't the strongest performance of the night. But I think that he has the ability to do more and showcase more. Okay, we're moving on. What did you guys think of Benjamin? Put it in the live chat. We're moving on. Next is Brian Clocks Volazanian, hip-hop dancer from Las Vegas. He was a part of the Jabberwockies, 28 years old. He was dancing with Jasmine Harper, a jazz routine, choreographed by Spencer Liff, who is a wonderful jazz choreographer we've seen on the show for years. I think that this routine was... What did you guys think, first of all? But second of all, I think that it was a bit too stylized, question mark. Agree with me or disagree with me here. I think that because jazz isn't truthfully his strong suit, giving him something not only jazz but also highly stylized was, I think, a little bit difficult, especially in this round. Obviously, it's something you have to do because you can't get someone on the show and then learn that they can't do stylized routines like this. But I think that overall, it was a tough routine for him. It definitely didn't showcase his best assets. Also, you guys know, if you've watched the show ever before, that the one thing that I care about more than most things is a pointed toe. And I think that because he's a hip-hop dancer, it doesn't come natural to think about that foot being pointed, but that was one thing that stuck out to me. And the leaps just didn't, I could see the debate as a choreographer, right? It's like, do I give him technical stuff to show the judges where he stands on these things, or do I let him hide under the fact that he can't do these things and just choreograph to make him look strong? I see the debate. I appreciate that Spencer gave him some harder movements, but I don't think it showcased him to the best of his ability, which is maybe what this round is all about anyways. So in reality, it probably worked out for the best. Long story short, this is just another kind of style note. The yellow pants, and I know costuming is not a big deal in this round. It shouldn't matter. But the yellow pants, I do not believe were my favorite pant choice of the episode. I'll just leave it there. Nancy, thank you for popping in. Nancy's favorite dancer this season is Benjamin. Benjamin is Nancy's fave. I like Benjamin a lot as well. Okay, we're moving on. Thank you, Brian Clocks. Okay, we are on to Brandon Talbott, 19-year-old from Virginia, auditioned with his ballet partner, Kaylee. She eventually got cut. He's gotten several critiques throughout the season so far, but I think that this was a good performance for him. This was choreographed by Sasha and Emma Slater. He was dancing with Lindsay Arnold. His lines were good, and I appreciate any sort of technical training, especially ballet, is amazing and admirable, and such discipline goes into ballet especially. So I think that showed off in his lines. I think his lines were great. I think the problem for me with this routine was that I could see him thinking too much. And I don't need a cheesy facial. I don't need, and I hate to go back, but Vlad gave us a smile in a very sad part of his performance, and I don't know if we needed that, Okay, that was just me talking shade, and I feel bad because he's a Ken doll. Okay, so he looks good smiling, but I digress. Overall, I think that my point was that Brandon, I think I could just see him thinking too much and a little bit in his head. It didn't seem natural, and I think that showed to the judges as well. Also, I'm not sure what that cartwheel was, and I'm not sure if that was executed correctly. I was trying to see, what do you guys think? If you could put it in the chat, that'd be great. I was kind of trying to break it down. The judges seemed impressed by it, the cartwheel at the end, but I also thought, I didn't think that was right. I mean, I'm not sure. Overall, I think it was a good performance, good control, but was it his strongest performance I've seen on the show? Maybe not. Maybe not. But he's a great ballet technical dancer, so you root for them till the day is done, because hats off to anybody who has that discipline. We're moving right on. Okay, you guys, we're at Nathan Cherry, 18-year-old from Orlando, Florida, hip-hop dancer, and he survived a very close call in ballroom earlier in the season. He was dancing contemporary with Melanie Moore, choreographed by Talia Favia, who is killing it right now. She's everywhere. Everybody wants to work with her. She's like the next big thing, which is really, really awesome to see. And everything she does is really great. But I digress. I loved seeing him utilize his hip hop skills in this contemporary. And this is kind of the same thing that I said earlier about, I know his name, Bailey. Yes. Same thing I said about Bailey earlier in the episode. I love when a b-boy can utilize those things that they've learned doing the popping and locking and put it in a contemporary routine. I think that's incredible, and I love that. I think overall he had really great control, and I think this was just a really great performance for him, and I think that I was really impressed. Yeah. You guys are agreeing in the live chat and on Twitter. People really like Nathan on Twitter. That is what I'm getting. Yes, we are fans of Nathan. Okay, we're moving on. I think this is a great performance. Not my favorite of the night, but very good. Okay, we're at Gino. We are finally at Gino, and he's 18 from Miami, dancing with Lauren Froderman, Ray Leeper routine, jazz routine. First of all, oh my gosh, I just love a guy with good technique. I mean, it's amazing. I love it. I was really, really impressed. All my notes say yes. So good. Trained. I also feel like he had a spunky vibe. The judges wanted a little bit more, which I get, but it's also like you're getting a really great dancer. I think it's one of those things where you see someone really great and you just want them to be that superstar that you see them like just inches away from. I think that's probably what this was. He's so good that they just want him to rise above just a little bit, just get a little bit more in the pocket, I believe. But I was really impressed by this. What did you guys think? We do have some Gino fans on Twitter. Overall, I think this was great. This was a good routine from Ray. All right, we're moving on. Oh my gosh, how is this already happening? We're at my favorite, well, maybe not my favorite, but kind of my favorite. I love Eddie Hoyt. We're at Eddie Hoyt, the tap dancer from New Hampshire, who is 19 years old. This past year, also we interviewed him for promotional stuff. It's on our red carpet page, and please check that out if you haven't. An interview with him, and he's, first of all, wonderful, amazing, sweet, humble, great. But he auditioned last year and didn't make it to the finals, so he moved to Utah, which I don't know about you, but it would take a lot for me to move to another state, move to Utah. So I am incredibly impressed by his dedication. Apparently the judges were too. Let's get into the conversation about the dance, though. He danced with comfort, and the choreographers were Randy and Hef, and it was a hip-hop routine. Oh my gosh. I was like, is this Eddie? I was so impressed by Eddie and his performance with that. I mean, what? And I didn't think he had it in him, but he did. And I think that all of the training has definitely been worth it over the past season, and he did a really, really incredible job with this. He had spunk, he had sass, and he was like stanky as well. I love a good stank, especially from a tap dancer. We're forgetting that he's mainly a tap dancer. So I was really impressed and really happy to see him live to his fullest potential in this routine, because I think he really, really killed it. I think, did Nigel say that it was his best performance of the evening? I believe that that was true, or of his on the show, and I believe that that is true. Okay, it's time to get down to the nitty gritty, you guys. It's time for the top 5. So I'll list off the top 5, and then we'll talk about who's cut. So top 5, we have Ezra, which is going to be really, really incredible and amazing. Oh, first of all, I cried because I thought that he was being cut. And Mary's delivery, the fake out, and then all of a sudden she said he was on, and then I was like so happy that I cried, and I can't remember ever crying on this round, especially for the guys. I was like, how is this hitting me so hard? So that was my first cry of the night. Then we have Gino in the top 5, which is very exciting. Benjamin, of course. Eddie, Hoyt, and Bailey. Bailey. We have Bailey, which is very exciting. I think this is a really, really strong group of guys for our top 5. Now we have to get to who was cut. First, it was Clocks, which was tough for Dietrich to deliver that news. Alexander was cut this round. Brandon was cut. Vlad, the Ken Barbie doll. But he will probably most likely be on Dancing with the Stars troupe, as we know he was on last season. So he'll probably be on that again this season. I don't know. This is just me guessing. And then we also had to say goodbye to Nathan, which was sad. There were definitely some talented dancers this round, and unfortunately some of them had to go. But it's exciting because now we're getting into real performances, real costumes, real everything. It's going to be so amazing, and the energy is going to be absolutely incredible. I believe AfterBuzz will be at some of these shows, so we'll be able to give you behind-the-scenes footage of everything that's going on, get the tea on all of the dancers and all of the fun stuff. So we're excited for that. I'm going to pop into the live chat really quickly. Chels M90. I missed you, girl. I'm happy to see you again. This is her opinion. She thinks Ben is good, Ezra too. Nathan will be an Eddie. Okay. My sleuthing skills are not paying off. Who are the pairings? Oh, I'm not sure on that either. I also tried to sleuth Chels, and I couldn't figure out anything either. So let me know if you find anything. Yeah, the cuts. We were all kind of crying on the cuts. It was really weirdly like I was inspired and sad. Oh, especially when Nigel was talking to Bailey. I was crying. What? Usually doesn't happen this early in the season, but I like a good cry every now and then. Okay, yeah, and some people don't love tap, but you know, that's what we've got in our live chat. So I appreciate you guys being in there. It's been really great to have you guys in here. And as the season goes on, it's going to be amazing and wonderful to have you guys engaged and a part of the conversation. Before we go, I do want to again mention our top 5 girls. We have Anna Lindstruth, who is amazing. We have Madison Jordan, which we're really excited to see. She's kind of a fan favorite online so far. Maria Russell, great. Sophia Pittman, the cutest. And Stephanie Sosa, which is going to be really great to see her dancing with Ezra. Overall, I'm really excited about this season. The things I know so far about the show have been really exciting, and the things we will come to find out in the coming weeks will be really great. I think I'm going to just give one small prediction. And it's, yeah, I like that. Oh, yeah, sound it off. Prediction time. And you know what? This might be the most bold prediction I've ever made ever. But I'm going to just say it, you know, and I might be wrong, but I really believe, because I've loved watching him grow throughout the season, and his personality is great, and I think he has everything you need, like everything in the sauce to win the whole show. I can't even believe I'm doing this. Bailey, I think is going to win the whole show. Who do you think is going to win the whole show? Put it in the live chat. We'll talk about it, or put it in the comments below. And this could absolutely change. My opinion could absolutely change, but I've been so impressed by him so far, and I think he might win it all. But that's just me being really bold, okay? And before we go, I'm going to give you guys a few tweets, because this is kind of going to act as my correspondent for the night. The first tweet is from Trillium. So great to see Jasmine back on So You Think You Could Dance. Hard to watch clocks when Jasmine was on stage. Jasmine is such an incredibly technical dancer, and also just like a stunning human being. Like, she's a model. She just looks like her ending pose was like, looked like it was on the cover of a magazine. That was really fun to watch. It's always good to see the All-Stars come back because we fall in love with our favorites, and then it's nice to see them back on the show. And they've all been there, so that's kind of the coolest part. Next, we have a tweet from Emily Stevens. I've been catching up on So You Think You Can Dance, and Eddie Hoyt is back. He is my favorite dancer ever, and I loved all of his tap routines. I'm so happy. Tap away, son. Missed the hell out of ya. I would so agree with Emily here because I am a big fan of Eddie as well as a person and as a dancer. I just am excited to see him on the show. He's really, really great. Next, we have a tweet from Naima Reyes. Just the best. So much emotion and heart. You can truly feel their hearts. Lay it on the dance floor. Oh, I mentioned this one earlier, but this is about Bailey. And I think that that's absolutely true. It's crazy because sometimes you see this magic happen so early in the season and you're like, wow, I can't even believe we've got sweatpants on at this round. You know, we're wearing tank tops and sweatpants and we are really, really tired, you know, and no one's done our makeup. And the fact that they can pull out performances like this early in the game is really, really incredible. Oh, we've got a prediction from G on Twitter. Gino is winning. That's all. Gino is really, really great. I would have to agree. He's great. He's going to be definitely one to watch. And then we have our top 5 girls. So we're really excited about the rest of the season. Please let us know what you thought of this episode. And if you think of anything else during the week you just want to talk about, just hit us up either in this chat or you can find us on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at TiegeDP, Tiegedp. I'm Tiege Dooley-Panko. Thank you so much for joining us. Season 16, So You Think You Could Dance, is just getting off and running, and we can't wait to have the whole season to talk about it with all of you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Munoz, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.